In the last lesson, we looked at factors and multiples. In this lesson, we're going to look at how to calculate the highest common factors for numbers and the lowest common multiple. So let's start with the highest common factor. What it is. The highest common factor is the largest or highest factor that is common to both numbers or multiple numbers. So the factors of 15, as we worked out before, are 1, 3, 5, and 15. And the factors of 40 are 1, 2, 4, 5, 10, 20, and 40. Okay, so we already worked those out in the last lesson. If you can't remember that, you'll need to go back and check the video from the last lesson. So the highest common factor, so these are all factors, the number that is the highest factor that occurs in both. So 1 is a factor of both, but 5 is common for both, and it's the largest number that is common for both. So in this case, 15 and 40, the highest common factor is 5. So let's now look at the lowest common multiple. So remember, multiples are bigger than the starting number. So the multiples of 6 are 6, 12, 18, 24, and 30. And as you know, they go on, but that should be enough. And the multiples of 8 are 8, 16, 24, and 40. 32. I'm having trouble writing with this mouse. So you can see here we've already passed the lowest common multiple. So we're looking at a multiple, so number that multiplies together to make each of the numbers, and it's common. So in this case, the first number that is common in both is 24. And in this case, we've only done up to there, so that's all we have. So it's the lowest number that's common for both. As you know, if we kept going, we would get other numbers that are common, but this is the lowest number that's common for both. Now, there's another way to work out the lowest common multiple, because if we're working with big numbers, it might be a fairly big number that's common. So an easy way to work it out is to find the lowest common multiple. We can find by finding the highest common factor of both these numbers. So firstly, we have to find the highest common factor. In this case, it's 2. All right, because there's no number bigger that's a factor of both. So what we need to do is multiply the two numbers together. So if we're looking at 6 and 8, so we go 6 times 8 equals 48. And so 48 is also a factor of 6 and 8, but is it the lowest? No, it's not the lowest because they have a common factor. So we divide that by the common factor, divide that by 2, and we get 24. Okay, so we already worked out in the previous slide that by writing down each of the multiples, we got to a common multiple for both. But here is another method that if we multiply the two numbers we're looking at together and then dividing them by the highest common factor, we will get the same lowest common multiple. A little bit confusing. You might need to watch this twice.